Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Gee, off to a bad start already. Happy Saturday to you. It's 7 o'clock here in the Midwest, 7:02 to be exact. So if you need to be someplace by 7 o'clock, you're going to be late. But there's no better place to be than right here. How about that? So glad you guys are all here. Krista could not make it tonight. She had something going on. And Natalie had something going on too. So it is just going to be me. You're going to get me for a while. So, and I had kind of planned this before. Didn't have any guests lined up so far. So if anybody, I dropped the link. If anybody wants to jump in and come in and talk about anything, I'll drop it again. It's pinned to the top of the chat over on YouTube. So if anybody wants to jump in, there it is. It's coming up again, and it's also pinned. So if anybody wants to jump in, that's fine. Great. Hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, please make sure that you are subscribed to all of the Misfits. You got Tex on Monday nights, along with well, I'm not on Monday nights anymore. I'm on Tuesday nights right before BMR. So make sure you're subscribed to BMR. And then you got this is where I need a co-host. Then you got show and tell on Wednesday night, so make sure you're on. That's on the Blondes and Booze channel. And then Thursday you got brunch with BMR, and then you have the ladies at 8 o'clock. Friday back on. I'm sorry, Thursday night after Blondes and Booze, you have Monica, and then you have the girls again on Friday. Saturday you have me, Donny, and BMR. 1, 2, 3, right there. And then Sunday you have Truth or Tinfoil, and sometimes you have Tex on Sunday night. So make sure that you are subscribed to all those. And we have something very fun coming up, and I can't believe it's already going to be next month. Next month already is, and it would be great if I had this lined up right ahead of time. The Crossing Realms Conference, September 19th and 20th. I mean, this summer has just flown by. And, it's just nuts. We've been planning this for what, since last December we announced it, and all of a sudden it is less than, what, 6 weeks? Is that a month away? Or no, a little more than a month away, a month and a half away. So less than 7 weeks away. It is going to be, yeah, I know. Don't rush it. Yep. I remember early in the year, BMR was saying that he's not wishing the summer away or wishing the year away, but he's looking forward to this, and I am too. But good Lord, this is going awfully fast. So let's quick say hi to everybody that is in chat. Hey Gary, hey Verax, good to see you. Let's put them on there. Hey, Jojo's here. Jojo from all the way in Australia. Thank you for showing up, Jojo. Appreciate you being here. MK Ultra is here. It's the event of the year, from what I heard. It is the event of the year. I'm looking forward to hearing all of the guest speakers, talk about whatever subject they want to talk about. But that's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to meet some of the people in chat that are going to be there. I think it's just going to be a fantastic weekend. Cryptical Crossroads. Hey gang, make sure, and I had this, that's Josh Casto. I had the link up here earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Well, you know what? I have it on here. Hang on one second. Make sure he just launched his own podcast on here. Cryptical. Help if I spell it right. Hang on, please hold. There. See if it pops up. It did not pop up. Why didn't it pop up? Well, I had it on here. Let's see if But anyway, he's got a new podcast. He just has two episodes on there right now, two videos on there right now. But here it is. Make sure you go over to Cryptical Crossroads, and I will. You know what? Well, it won't let me do that. Well, I have to go back on. Oh, Gary posted it. There it is. Gary posted it. So okay, yeah, it's on there. So make sure you go over there and subscribe over there, like a few of you have done already. I'm sure that's going to be pretty awesome stuff that he's going to have out there. Also, make sure you subscribe to Bigfoot Dwarf. He is in here. Good evening to you, kind sir. Daryl Stanley, how you doing? I mentioned Jojo Ullerson. Thank you for showing up here. Appreciate you. It's going to take me a second to recognize you as Josh Casto as Cryptical Crossroads. I always get confused on that. Anything new throws me off. You know me. And well, you can't see it anyway. So BJ's here. Hey BJ, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Ristel, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Anybody else? Denise was in here. I saw Denise earlier. I know there's 23 people here, and there was more in here before that I saw. But anyway. So a lot of fun things happening. No problem, sir. No problem. Anytime. Great t-shirt. You know, a friend of mine who went to New Mexico got me this shirt. It says, the truth is out there. We are not alone in Mexico. And she bought it for me. And because, she's a friend of mine, she knows what I do. And, I totally believe that. So, I was going to say something. This is where I would need a Post-it note. Speaking of Post-it notes, look at what I have. So they were talking about, and there's BJ's channel. Make sure you subscribe on over to BJ's channel. She has a lot of her books and stuff on there. And I mean, she is an incredible author, both horror and here, I got one of her books. Where is it? There it is. Coloring book. It's awesome. Hey, you want to see an x-ray of my knee? Make sure you subscribe to BJ's channel. So Natalie and Mickey and little Patty were all talking. Hey, little Patty. For the conference, they're going to cover me with Post-it notes. But look what I got. I got green and blue. I actually stole this off my wife's desk. She doesn't work from home anymore, so it's fair game. So I got these. And I do plan on using it. I also have my notebook, as always, sitting here. Again, here is the link. If anybody would like to stop in, pink ones. I don't have pink ones, little Patty. There is the link. And, I had no topic today. So if anybody wants to ask a question in chat, I will do my best to answer it. If it's paranormal, whatever. We just had the Major League Baseball trading deadline that came and went. My Cardinals have crapped the bed and are not going to be doing anything this year. They are quickly fading away into oblivion. And Jilly's Boston Red Sox, I just saw, are in first place, I believe, ahead of the Yankees, which makes me happy when the Yankees are not in first place. Not exactly a huge Red Sox fan since they swept the Cardinals in the World Series. Monica has pink ones for me. Oop. Where is it? There it is. Monica has pink ones. Okay. Okay. Well, all right. We will see. We will see. I get distracted easily. So we got the and we will have pictures. I'm sure somebody's going to have pictures of the post-it notes on me. I don't know. But this Crossing Realms conference is going to be so fun. Like the girls were talking about last night. Thursday is going to be our fun night, a party night. We're going to have, I don't know if we're going to have karaoke. We're just going to have everybody just have a good old time. That's, most conferences have a conference event. We have a pre-conference event. And then of course me, Tex, Brandy, Krista, BMR, Donny. Although Donny's a special guest, he is a special guest. And everybody, we are all going to be working our butts off to make sure that you guys have a fantastic time. And I think you guys will. I mean, with the presenters we have and the special guests we have. Hey, Jilly, we were just talking about you. Oh, and you know what? Jilly's here. And she was on here a couple weeks ago doing readings for everybody, and the two people that got the free readings from her, Gary's going to be working the event too. That's awesome. So the two, Kara, I can't remember who she picked to have a free reading on her page, on her own. Everything that Natalie had a reading as well. I think she ended up paying for that though. Hey, Steph, the contractor. But everything that you guys talked about, Julie, and I'm talking about Kara for one, and Natalie, you just nailed it. And when Kara was telling me this, I work with Kara actually. When she was telling me this the day after you had your appointment with her, she was almost in tears, and everything that Julie told her was just spot on, and she felt absolutely fantastic about hearing all that stuff. So, Julie, if you could put your email address, or not your email address, but your website on there. And if you want a reading from Julie, head on over there. She's fantastic. Little Patty, there we go. Yep, that you did was awesome. So that's great. I mean, that's why we have Julie on here, and I appreciate it, and I know everybody who had the reading appreciate it as well. And you know what? We have a special guest here, and he's smiling.
I'm not special.
You are too special. You are the first ever member of this channel, so I always appreciate you. I appreciate everybody on here, but how you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good tonight. I mean, just trying to get this channel going. I mean,
it's a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And you don't get anything for it.
Right.
But it is very, a lot of people say it's rewarding, therapeutic. I mean, where else, like tonight, I'm talking by myself. Where else can you talk by yourself and have a great conversation? But yeah, it's, I wish you the best of luck, and tell us a little bit about your channel and why you wanted to get this going.
Well, I've had a few experiences myself. I mean, they're nothing special, but they're pretty much short stories. Yeah, I saw this, basically. It's what I've seen. But I've been following you from the beginning, and before you, it was Blondes and Booze, Tex, Paranormal Roundtable, and now I'm getting into some crazy cult stuff that's blowing my mind, but that's a whole nother subject. I might cover some cult stuff on my channel. I don't know yet.
There you go.
But
so is it going to be, stories of experiences, or are you going to have people on, or
everything and anything.
okay? Excuse me.
I was talking to Nellie Turner, Josh Turner's wife,
Right.
Paranormal Roundtable, and asked her if she'd be my first guest.
Oh, awesome.
We got to get that worked out. But I'm thinking my first episode, I'm just going to share my experiences and what I'm about.
That would be a very smart thing to do,
Yeah.
get things off the ground,
Right.
before you get into all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And let me get that. Let me get your address again on here. Actually, Gary, if you could throw that link back up here, I'll put it on. And everybody, make sure that you go on over and check out that. Check out his channel, Cryptical Crossroads. Now, why did you come up with that name, Cryptical Crossroads?
Well, first it was cryptid or cryptic. But both of those were used, and when I was searching the name, cryptical popped up, and I was like, okay. I kind of like it because it's kind of like typical. That's typically some cryptid crap going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, cryptical, yeah, that was, I don't know, it just stuck in my head.
And search it. The hardest thing to do is come up with a name for your show, I think. But once you find it, it.
Right.
I can't remember what I had for Paranormal Among Us before that, but I came across that. I didn't come across it. I made it, and I'm like, you know what? That kind of sounds familiar. I saw another one, something else Among Us, Monsters Among Us, or something like that, and I thought, well, that works. I like it. So
I even tried Paranormal Crossroads because I like the crossroads. That's a major event in somebody's life when they come to those crossroads.
Right. Exactly. Do you mind if I share some of your artwork that you were posting on Facebook?
Have at it. I do not mind at all.
So this stuff, I mean, it's not there. Gotta find it. Oh, it was on a separate thing. There it is. So did you draw some of these, or are these AI generated?
I'm not sure yet because I do paint and draw.
That one right there.
Oh, that's AI. Yeah, those that were with that's all AI crap.
I mean, it's amazing how good they are.
I was just trying to come up with a logo style.
Minus the three S's in the middle there. That's a pretty cool
Right.
one. I like that.
Nelly actually fixed that one and did it with just two S's, and it came out great. No, thank you, Nelly.
Yeah, no kidding.
Shout out to Nelly.
Yes. I mean, that one that would make a pretty cool background for you.
My girlfriend likes that one the best.
This one?
Yeah. She thinks that would be a good one on like a t-shirt or something, like a back piece.
Yeah.
With black background. It would look good with a black background.
Yeah. Black t-shirt with that. That would make a cool tattoo actually as well.
Yeah, it would.
That one's pretty cool. Oh, I hadn't seen this one. This
That's
one's
the
cool.
first one I did. That's the first one I come up with that I liked.
Yeah. I like that one. That's creepy.
Yeah, it is creepy.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool. That's so are you going to be doing recorded shows? Or are you going to be doing live? What are you going to be doing? And when are you going to be releasing?
I'm thinking both.
Okay.
I got stuff ordered coming in. It's supposed to be here tomorrow, and I'm gonna get my computer set up, which yeah, it's an expensive computer, and it's just sitting here, and I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do with this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see if we can start a podcast / live stream YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And get this going.
Yeah. And you already have an audience. I mean, everybody likes you in the chat. So, I think you're gonna get the subscribers, pretty quick right off the bat. You'll get the views right off the bat. So, I think it's gonna be fun for you.
Oh, I'm already having a blast.
Yeah.
And I just got my email set up yesterday, and yeah, I ain't got no emails yet, but I'm waiting.
Yeah,
It'll probably take a little bit.
yeah.
I'm not in a big rush, but yeah, I just plan on having fun with it.
I found that too. If you have fun with it, if you can laugh at yourself, if you can just have a good time with people in the chat, include the people in the chat, and just have get along really well with your guests too. If you decide to have some, which it sounds like you will, I think you're going to have a great channel, and just enjoy it and have fun with it, and
Oh
be
yeah,
yourself
for
with it too.
sure.
I mean, that's they always say that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Unfortunately, I don't love my job as much as I love doing this. So, that just makes, to me, that makes doing this just all worth it.
Yeah, I work third shift Sunday through Thursday. So I'm thinking I might do like maybe a Friday live stream, or because I get off work Thursday morning. I could do or not Thursday morning, Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I could do a Friday morning live show.
Yeah.
And then maybe Saturday post a pre-record or something like that.
Yeah. Anything that you put out would be fantastic. I mean, any time you put it out would be great. You just have to, and if you need any help setting things up, uh, I read Little Patty's message, and I read it fast, and I read it wrong at first. This one here. Don't like messing with the meat. I don't mess with the meat. I'm in the office taking calls. But it's not as much fun as this. But what I was going to say is, if you need any help with software or whatever, to record your episodes or videos, let me know. There's all kinds of stuff to use. I mean, we all use StreamYard. It's not the greatest. It's not the cheapest.
Right.
Yeah.
I started a free trial with StreamYard already.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, like I said, it's not the greatest, but it lets you do a lot of stuff.
Right.
And it seems to, I don't know. It's evolving, I think. But there's a lot more out there that's way more expensive, and there's a lot more out there that's real cheap. So, yeah. Pretty much anything for any budget. But what kind of equipment do you have coming? Whoop, he left. Uh-oh. Well, that's not a good sign for him to do that. Well, if Josh, there he is. Whoops.
Ah,
I didn't do it.
I hit the wrong button.
I was thinking, did I say something wrong? I didn't think I did.
Oh my gosh, I hit the wrong button. Learning curve.
You know, just have fun with it.
But yeah, I am on my phone at the moment. I mean, that's what I got at the moment is my phone.
And you know, the good thing about StreamYard too is you can use your phone as well.
Right.
I don't know about some of the other ones. Zoom, I know you can. I think Riverside is one and stuff, but I don't know about all that. But I mean, it's neat if you want to on the road and want to do something. So when do you think you're going to start you have your first one come out? I don't think he heard that, and we'll wait till he. Barb, I hope you feel better. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going around that's been nasty.
I hit the wrong button again. Okay, there's a lot of wrong buttons on this. But I don't know. Maybe next Friday. Okay. I'm thinking.
Okay. So make sure you head on over
Friday,
there.
Saturday.
Yeah, okay. Make sure that head on over to his channel, Cryptical Crossroads on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and have that bell, notification bell turned on so you can see his videos when he starts releasing them. So that'll be cool. That'll be cool. I know you have encounters, and it's been quite a while since you were on here.
Right.
Care to share one of those encounters?
Well, I did see a pterodactyl.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
When?
It was at work, 3 a.m. because I take my lunch at 3 a.m. And I was walking out the back door, and there's an awning, I don't know, maybe 20 feet out from the back door. And we got stupid bright lights. They drive me nuts because I like to look at the stars. I can't see the stars with all these stupid lights going on. But I get past the awning and I look up at the sky and I see, I don't know, it was maybe 100, maybe 200 feet up. Because our building that I work at is pretty tall.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see killdeer and nighthawks flying underneath it. And those are small birds. They're maybe 30 feet above me. Nighthawks might be 50. But as soon as I saw it, my brain went to maybe it's a great heron, like a great gray heron,
mm-hmm.
which are big birds. Because it was about that color. It was kind of a grayish blue. And as I'm looking at it, I'm sitting there going, no, this ain't no heron. This ain't no egret. This ain't nothing like that type of bird. But the way it was flying was kind of in the same pattern. with its neck cocked back over its body, like its head cocked back over its back. And okay, I'm sitting here watching this thing fly over me. I get to a place where I can see it better to block the lights in some shade, and it had that typical pterodactyl pattern, the wing style of a pterodactyl.
Right.
It looked like a membrane and not wings. Yeah, I couldn't see any feathers on it, and
Wow.
I love birds.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, there were no feathers.
And where was this at?
This was at work.
What city is this in?
Tulsa area.
Okay.
It's borderline Tulsa, Sapulpa,
Okay.
Glenpool area.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. All right.
Yeah, Tulsa. I mean, it's kind of borderline. They call it Town West, but I see more Sapulpa cops over there, and that's a different county. But it's like two counties butting up against each other. But no, I watch this thing as far as I could see it, and it never flapped its wings once.
Really?
And if you watch an egret or heron fly, they flap their wings constantly. Every time I've seen one, I've never seen one stop flapping their wings.
Wow.
And this, yeah, it never stopped. It was like somebody on a hang glider, just cruising over me.
And it didn't make any sound, any
Oh no,
bird sound or anything?
yeah, I know.
Sound they make, but
Yeah, I was like, what am I looking at?
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my most recent, and that probably happened around September of last year. So we're about to come up on a year on that.
Wow. Really? That's
Yeah.
cool. So, Bigfoot Fadez asked a question on here a little bit ago. Has anyone been told they can't talk about Bigfoot at work? And I'll even go one further, talk about, paranormal or other cryptids and stuff, or UFOs or anything like that at work. What are your thoughts? And I'll tell you what mine are later.
I actually have a Bigfoot sighting from one of my past jobs. And there was at least 20 guys standing around going, what? No, it's going to be Bigfoot. So, not where I've worked.
Yeah. Where I work is so laid back, and I mean, we talk about anything there, and I've never had anybody say, that's stupid or stop talking about that. So, Bigfoot, my response would be no, that seems kind of odd. Depending on what kind of job you have. I mean, if you're I don't know.
Well, I run a plasma table.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I've cut steel since 2004 on a plasma table.
Oh, cool. Cool. Well, my friend, I thank you very much for jumping on here with me. I got Julia just popped in here.
Okay.
Dude, best of luck. And I know you got at least 5 subscribers since this show started. So
last I looked, I had like 15, I think.
Okay, you're up to 18 now, last I saw.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, whenever you put out videos, we'll be watching, and definitely best of luck to you. And if there's anything I can do to help you out, let me know. You got another subscriber.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So,
You got your messenger now.
Yep. Yes, you do. So, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you, Casto.
I do too. I appreciate you.
Alrighty. Take care, bud. Okay, that was Casto. Make sure you guys check out his podcast over on YouTube. Sounds like it's going to be a fun show. And Bigfoot, to answer your question, I don't know what. Are you a barber? I mean, why not? I mean, that's in a barbershop full of hunters, and so that's kind of crazy that you can't talk about it. You know what? Get your owner on here and I'll set him straight for you. Anyway, we have Jilly has popped in. Let's say hi to Jilly. How you doing, Jilly?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing very good. And right before I came on here, I saw your post about your Red Sox. Was it overtaking the Yankees? That's fine. I'm not a Yankee fan. I don't like the Yankees. I am very happy that you guys have taken over first place from them. Or are they in first place?
Yeah, no, it's weird. No, we're in first place. I think we're in first place in the wild card is what's going on.
Oh, wild card. Okay.
If we overtook, I would say if we overtook the AL East, I would be ecstatic. But I know the trade deadline just passed, and our ownership, as usual, did crap. And I just you get to this point where you're like, "Yep, okay."
Yeah.
Actually, we did overtake the Yankees. Toronto is first in the AL East. They're no games back. We are 4 games back. The Yankees are 4.5 games back. So in Baltimore, as usual, is 13.5. They're out. Bye-bye. Which, I mean, I don't even know why all those fans. Between them and Tampa, I'm like, why do you still have a team?
It's such a hard division when you have the Yankees spending so much money year after year. I know the Red Sox spend money, but they don't spend as much as the Yankees do. Then in the National League, you have the Dodgers and the Padres spending all kinds of money. There's no room for other teams. They can't spend that much. And, they're talking about in 27, there could be a work stoppage because the owners really want
there will be
a salary cap. And I think so too.
There will be.
Yeah. They need to even the playing field. It's incredibly.
No, there's so many. There's teams when you see I think the Brewers year before last were in the World Series, I want to say, and the Cubbies have been very good the last couple of years, and they have a tiny budget as well.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is, though, is that they had a really small budget and did things. But you also have teams like the Mets who've spent out the wazoo and can't they collapse in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there will definitely be a work stoppage because there's so many issues that when they did the last in 23, when they did the last CBA, that they just were like, well, this is what we're going to do, and this is what we're going to do. And it's like, at some point we got to have a conversation about $700 million contracts and, getting to the place where you can't, a family of 4, it costs $500 to go to a baseball game. And there's so many things that, yes, go Chiefs. There's some things that are being kicked down the road by Major League Baseball, and they have hit a point where, well, there's also the fact that, to jaw on baseball for 2 more seconds, there's also the fact that a bunch of the owners, including the Red Sox ownership, had this little weird thing where they voted against themselves when it comes to the luxury tax. And it's like, okay, you want to change how that threshold works, but then you vote to basically pay more taxes. And it's like, wait, what are you doing? You're not making any sense. And yeah, there's definitely the space of, I mean, this trade deadline was that just for anybody that's not a baseball fan, July 31st was the trade deadline. Was just so bizarre. I mean, I didn't expect us to do anything. To be honest with you, I didn't expect us to do anything exciting. Because they took Jarren Duran off the table, number one. Number two, what we really needed was a starting pitcher. And the fact of the matter is that pool is so narrow and so shallow, to be real honest with you, that it's like you would have had to trade way. I mean, it's like, no, just play with the team you got. And they're having fun. They're kind of punky. They kind of remind me of the 2013 Sox. Kind of remind me of 2007 and 13, where it was kind of like we're mad after the Devers thing. So, but anyway, yeah, no, I'm cautiously optimistic, but again, it's August, and
at least your team is not.
If you're a baseball fan.
Yeah, at least your team is not tanking. I mean, actually, we sent Steven Matz out to Boston and got some prospects for him. I think it was Steven Matz to Boston, and apparently your fan base is not happy with that. And let me tell you, he was actually a good long reliever for us. I think he started out here as a starter, but for some reason they moved him back to the bullpen, and I mean, he's been decent. He's been pretty good, but we just decided to sell off all of our bullpen, and we have no chance of doing anything, I don't think, and we're just keep getting further behind, and it's sad because the Cardinals were such a proud franchise, and now we're just in a shell of what we used to be, and it's sad, very sad.
Well, and that's the thing too. The last two seasons is, being a Red Sox fan, it's like, and I end up looking at things sometimes from the standpoint of like 2011 when we had the Bobby Valentine season, where it was like, dude, we were done in April. I mean, anybody with a nickel worth of sense knew that we were done in April here. And the hardest thing about watching the trade deadline happen and is our illustrious, I guess they're calling him the baseball operations, yada blah, whatever the flip they call him. Craig Breslow, who was the only fun fact. They offered 15 people that opportunity and to interview, and all of them declined.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Craig Breslow was literally the last option.
Yeah.
No, and I have said to people forever that we still do. We still have a culture issue in Boston, but we're in this place of like, are we going to actually address the elephant in the room? Because it wasn't Rafael Devers, and he was just a convenient scapegoat. But again, it's in the space of, like you said at the very beginning, we're going to go into a work stoppage. They don't necessarily have to do a work stoppage. That's an ownership choice that the owners vote as a core to say, hey, are we going to do a lockout? In reality,
I think the players are going to strike before they do a lockout.
Address these issues, and I would say yes. Because they know. I mean, everybody knows it's coming. The top 10 issues that they know are coming, and it's like, well, you can talk about them in a non-CBA year. You know that, right? Yeah. But there was a big thing. If anybody's like a wonk about baseball, you can go Google Scott Boras. He did a really intensive interview, in-depth interview with somebody about this whole thing. And I hate him. I don't hate a whole lot of people, but I cannot stand Scott Boras for a whole long list of reasons. But it was a very in-depth interview about basically the same thing, about there's going to be a work stoppage and the things that on both sides that are just, and
I think they're so far apart. I think everybody and their brother knows that this sport is messed up, that needs to be fixed. They need some kind of salary cap because these contracts are getting way out of hand, and teams like Tampa Bay can't keep up with the Yankees. And who wants to see, I know you don't want to see the Yankees year after year being so good, I don't want to see the Yankees year after year being so good, and it's going to end up being the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, Padres, and anybody else who has a butt ton of money willing to throw at these baseball players who get paid to play a kid's game. And yeah, I understand it's hard to hit a ball that's moving 100 miles an hour and with movement and stuff. But I mean, these guys are making way too much money. I mean, this is going to be a whole rabbit hole that we can go down, but I don't want to. But it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed. And look at hockey. I mean, they have a salary cap. They have teams, different teams winning.
Yes,
Hell,
the thing is.
Go ahead.
The thing is the luxury tax was put in place to try to balance out was supposed to be the salvo. The problem is that you have owners voting different ways about different pieces of it from both sides, and it's like, you're either in favor of a cap or you're not. And the reality of it is, a lot of times, is it isn't really about one player, because we've all seen teams that one play the center of the team, like Shohei, and it's like, yeah, but what are you doing with the other 8 players? What's going on with the rest of the team?
Right.
Because they're not you can't have a whole team with one person. But like you said, also, like Tampa's getting a whole new thing. Tampa just got bought, and there's getting that's a whole mess in Florida. And in reality, if it was me, knowing how that fan base is, knowing where they are, all the dynamics, I would pull the Tampa Bay Rays. If it was me, I would take them. I don't care where else.
I agree.
Certainly not to Raleigh, because I keep trying to say Raleigh needs a Major League Baseball team. I'm like, no, don't do that. We don't.
I agree.
No, we do not need a baby.
I mean, it seems like anything in the
there's
Tampa area.
Frustrating.
That's more of a tourist area, I think, and they don't. I mean, it doesn't seem like they can support a team down there, and their stadium looks like crap. Hell, a hurricane just hit it and knocked the roof out, and they stalled on fixing it. So they're playing at they're playing at the Yankees minor league field, I believe, their spring training field. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing.
Correct.
I wouldn't mind seeing them move back
Correct.
up to Montreal, or even Memphis. Memphis needs a team.
I mean, I'm honestly quite indifferent to a lot of the things, because I don't have any control over it. But I just feel like, as far as how all the things, like when I started deep diving into how things are governed, when I did a strike zone thing back in 2011 and 12, which is a whole separate rabbit hole. But I learned a lot of things, and I learned about how the powers that be work and everything. And when you learn how the powers that be work in certain situations, you're like, oh, well, and you have that well shit moment, and you're just like, okay, that's how that's going to work. All right.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that I've learned as a fan to be like, I say, all the time, like, we're in an emotionally abusive relationship with our team willingly.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I mean,
so how?
Sorry.
Yeah.
But so yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish that. I was just going to ask you how things are going with you.
Things are going okay. I have made a decision I'm closing my Facebook group. And I'm getting ready to do a major shift around how I do things and where I show up and whatnot, because I'm honestly quite tired of how Book of Face handles everything. And when you get to a space where, like, I have 863 members in my Facebook group, it is going to go somewhere else. It's going to be on another platform where I can speak freely and I can say whatever the hell I want to say. And it's not like I don't have to worry about all the things that you don't realize that Facebook does as far as algorithms and whatnot. I am restarting the podcast, and I will be adding it to YouTube. I am debating doing live one night a week, and like doing readings and doing kind of just like little channel pieces of information, etc., and then doing one recorded piece and posting it on YouTube, because YouTube is where everybody's coming now. And to be honest, I think so many people are getting sick of how Facebook works that they just are in the space of like, But I mean, from that, I mean, it is hard. You know, and I want to say that it is hard to shift in business. It's hard to be a solopreneur. You were talking earlier about, you know, people talking about certain things at work, and I have 2 jobs, quote unquote. I am first and foremost a trauma and emotion coach and a medium, and do all the things with healing and such. And then I also work at a cat rescue, and the woman who owns the cat rescue is very much she doesn't really care what I talk about. So I can talk about dead people, I can talk about pretty much anything, and she's just like, okay. But it's interesting, I think, how I think it's interesting how some people respond time in 2025, where a lot of our beliefs are being challenged. And I think that's part of why some people are restricted, because there's things that people don't want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's things like people don't want to be, they don't want their beliefs challenged. And I follow a historic house page on Facebook, and the owner will post things and be like, you know, definitely felt an energy here. We like go, you know, this, or like she'll say, this one has a cemetery on the property, blah, blah, blah. And people, I'm like, listen, there's energy. It's like a 1750s house. I'm like, yeah, there's energy in the house. Of course there's ghosts. And I'm like, listen, you don't have to believe anything I believe. But to be in the space of let's pretend it's not happening, let's pretend it doesn't exist, to me is silly and awful. Yeah.
You know, unless you're, I mean, really, you can, I don't see why you couldn't talk about it anywhere at any kind of job. I mean, if you're a lawyer and seeing clients, you don't want to say, hey, by the way, I'm Paul, I'm your lawyer, I believe in Bigfoot and everything and stuff. Maybe not do that. But, you know, water cooler talk, you know, why not? You know, that's, people believe all kinds of things, and people want to learn all kinds of different things. And, you know, I think that's just a, you know, interesting part of our life that we like to share. And, you know, why not talk about it? I like talking about it at work. Sometimes when they're not being weirdos about it. So, you know, and you know, actually the other day I had a phone call with somebody, and we ended up talking for like an hour, and most of it was on paranormal. And I thought that was just fantastic. I had a blast talking to this guy. So, but yeah, you know, I had it. Oh, there's a question. Actually, a question just popped up here for you. Ooh. Somebody else just popped in. Here we go. Little Patty. Jilly, just wondering, when you do readings, does it take your energy?
No, because I know how to protect my energy. It used to until I learned how to protect my energy. It did. And then I got to the point where I was like, you know what? Maybe there's a better way to do this. And now that I use, you know, allow myself to be a conduit, and I clear my energy when I'm done, and I protect my energy when I start, it doesn't anymore.
Okay, cool.
It's a good question.
So when you decide if you want to launch your YouTube channel, you know, let me know, and I will definitely get it out there for everybody in here for you, and get you some traffic over there, and whatever you need.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, Julie, awesome. I appreciate you coming on. We got
with you that to share with you that. Oh
no, go ahead. What were you going to share?
I was just going to share with you that I did readings with Mickey and with Kara. I did my readings with Mickey and Kara, and being able to give and being able to read with them was really awesome. So, and I also did a reading with Natalie, and she did a paid reading, and that was awesome as well. So,
and I think little Patty had one with you as well. I think she didn't she?
She did not. She did not.
Oh, okay.
Okay. She can message me though. I mean, she can certainly book one.
But I know I can't remember. I think I did talk to Mickey about it. She said you were spot on. Kara was getting emotional when she was telling me how spot on you were. And Natalie was just, again, blown away about how spot on you are. So make your on the show. Duh. Yeah. So I mean, you were
yeah,
spot on here to everybody. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Patty. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Sorry. See, if I had my Post-it notes, I would have known that. But anyway, Jilly, I appreciate you jumping in here.
I'll bring
We
a
got
stack with me
somebody.
for you.
No.
Cool.
But yeah,
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
me. Have a great night.
No problem. Anytime. You're welcome on here anytime. So thank you very much, Jilly. All right. We have MK Ultra just jumped in here. We'll bring him up.
Hey,
What's
going
up?
on?
How you
Can
doing?
you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Right on.
How you doing, brother?
Just hanging out, listening to some sports talk,
Some paranormal sports talk.
Yeah, some paranormal sports talk. You're gonna hop on, man. I like these call-in shows, so I want to support them. I want to see more of them.
They're fun. I mean, you never know what topic you're gonna get or anything, or what kind of animal is going to be on your shoulder.
Oh, Tuna over here. Oh, she's
Tuna?
always here. That's Tuna.
Oh,
Her full name is Princess Toonces Perunces, aka Tuna.
Princess Toonces Perunces.
Yeah.
Wow. I like Tuna better.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to get out.
Yeah.
Say Tuna stuff.
Excuse me. It's a family reunion tonight. Whoop, there we go. Thank you, Amy. Jump on in here, Amy.
Yeah, get up here, Amy. I'm surprised Bigfoot Dwarf hasn't come up.
He's more than welcome to.
Let's watch some car chases, man. Let's do
it. So what's on your mind tonight, sir?
I'm just sitting here doing my usual thing, watching the paranormal live streams I usually catch. I was watching that Bigfoot banter earlier, but I try to catch about as many as I can.
Yeah, we appreciate you being on here. So question for you. What do you think about talking about Bigfoot, paranormal, anything odd like this at work, in the workplace?
That's right. That's what I came up here to kind of talk about.
I'm glad to see other people don't always remember everything that they're trying to do. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, especially with me, it just leaves after a while.
It might do.
Like, yeah, within like minutes. It's like, okay.
And I have the headphones on. You think that they would stay in there, but it doesn't. Anyway.
I was actually when I was a machinist, I would listen to Sasquatch Chronicles on my phone, and someone walked by and noticed I watched it, and like I get basically like 80% of the stories I've ever heard were from work. People just knowing that I was into the topic. I didn't even talk about it a lot at work. I kind of just keep to myself. But yeah, I got a lot of interesting. I've always been fine with talking about it at work. No one's ever told me to not. Actually, one of my managers was like really into Bigfoot, and when he found out that I was into it, it was nice. It was cool.
Yeah, you know, I have one of my managers wants to go with me on a ghost hunt. I don't know that I want to do that though.
Why not? Ghost hunt seems fun.
He's
inside.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, it would be interesting. It would probably get me a weekend off work if I'm scheduled, if I have him with me. So, you know, you never know.
Yeah, that's enough reason right there, man.
Yeah. But, you know, I guess you have to see my work environment. It's kind of an odd place to put it nicely, I guess. Where people pretty much just do whatever they want. And
cool.
Not really. I hope I hope no one's watching this. I hope no one from work is watching this. But they don't usually. But you know, it's definitely an interesting place. But you know, I see no problem talking this kind of stuff at work. I mean, if you're talking work all the time, it just gets boring. You know, just throw some some fun stuff. I mean, it's just like talking sports at a workplace.
Yeah, you know? And to me, it's like a paranormal is kind of a friendlier topic to get into. You know, everyone's got their own different experiences. So it's not like you're talking politics or religion. You know, it's a pretty safe thing to talk about. The only place where it gets kind of tension is like in this community, like in this over here in this community, like I guess it can get kind of people got their opinions and they stick to it. But at work, it's always been like a pretty open topic to talk about weird stuff. My buddy's telling me about a haunted house he lived in growing up, had like a ghost cat in it.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. In fact, I had a guy who I worked with, and he always kind of like made fun of me about the Bigfoot stuff. I mean, not for real. I'd fight him if he actually made fun of me. But but he always like kind of but like how you said, busted your balls about it. But he came up to me one day and he said, the first time I went hunting, it was with my grandfather, and it was down in Scotland County, North Carolina. And he said we got into the blind real early, and he said a nice sized deer came out. I took the shot and we watched it drop right in the field. And he said his grandfather told him, "Okay, just wait. Maybe some more will come out. Like maybe it was so quick and so efficient." And he was just like, "Well, let's just sit and wait. Maybe the more will come out. Like maybe that." And they sat there for another 20 minutes. Nothing else came out, so they went out to the field to go get it. And they found the blood spot where it had dropped, exactly where they saw it. And this, he said, it was only about a foot long grass around. So like they would have seen it if it tried to move out of there. And they had their eyes on it the whole time, and the body was just gone. There was no way, it just disappeared as if it was never there. Just that little blood spot there.
Really?
Yeah. And I always thought that was really interesting. Like I was like, because it made me think of spider crawling. You start trying to put Bigfoot stuff to it. But yeah, I mean, he didn't see anything there.
There was one. I don't know if you know the name Ernie Davio.
No.
Have you seen? Okay, you need to. He was on here. I know he was on BMR show. Rye. I don't know if he was on Rye's show or not, but I think he was. But Ernie Davio had an incredible encounter with. Let's see. I think it was back in the 80s, possibly. Out near Maryland, I think.
Okay.
Just an incredible encounter where he was actually communicating with the Bigfoot. And it almost seemed like it was the Bigfoot was trying to protect him from the other. There was two other ones off to the side that were hunting deer. And it was almost like the one was trying to protect him from the other two. So I mean, if you get a chance, and that goes for anybody, I'm not just talking to MK here. Anybody, go check out his story. He's been on here a couple times. I know he's been on a few other ones. Ryan just said he was on his show way back when. So check him out. That's an incredible story as well.
Those always interest me. The ones that involve the hunting, like they had like a Hanoba siege and all that, because they were responding to gunshots and all that. In that case, that sounds more like the Bigfoot was trying to be like, "Hey, we're trying like." Stay back. We got something going on here. Like,
yeah, that's almost what it was doing. I mean,
yeah, he probably was. He was probably like, "Hey, I'm trying to get this deer. Hey, dude."
Yeah, and it sounded like, without giving too much away of Ernie's story, that these two Bigfoot were trying to flush the deer out of wherever they were at, and this one was going to go, I guess, corner it or capture him, or whatever. And then Ernie kind of got in the way and kind of spoiled everything. So yeah. Interesting stuff.
Oh yeah, that stuff's really fascinating to me.
Yeah,
because like you want to see like the nuts and bolts, how these things like surviving out there, like what are they doing on their day to day when they're not, playing hide and seek.
Exactly. So what are your thoughts on Bigfoot? If it's flesh and blood, spiritual, what do you think about it?
I've been in this my whole life. I started out just kind of flesh and blood, primate. I went through all that stuff. And then just my experiences out in the wilderness, it's been pretty spectacular in terms of supernatural stuff beyond anything flesh and blood. And after working with Hal Ben Holler here on this documentary coming out, a lot of things, there was just a lot of things that weren't Bigfoot, but it was a strange thing going on in the woods. And it happened to be going around when Bigfoot stuff was kind of happening, So I've kind of turned into like more on the side of these things kind of phase into our realities. They're flesh and blood when they're here, and they're doing things that are, 3D in our realm, but they do like seem to leave at some point, Yeah. The only proof of that is that there's no body. So,
right.
At this point, after like 100 years, there should be a body. Like someone should really have one, unless we just can't have one,
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that a while back too. I mean, why have we not captured? Unless we have, and it's being covered up by something or somebody, a government agency. But why has the common hunter not seen a body?
Yeah, and precisely. Like they always talk about, you hear stories about like tactical teams going in via helicopter and like hearing gunshots and they pull one out. But that would be really hard to do. And some of the best hunters in the world, they're just out there hunting. You think one of them at some point would come across one, would track one.
Yeah.
It's odd. But yeah, I have a hard time even like believing like the tactical teams could come in, just because how are they going to get one if a hunter can't track one silently?
Mhm.
You know, using stealth, a helicopter, they're going to be able to run from. They can hear that miles away, so they'll just be taking off.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's hard for me to make sense of all of it with it being just a flesh and blood thing, unless it can actually phase out or just completely it will just go off the radar somehow.
Yeah.
And someone
or-
once put it, they said it was there and then it was somewhere else. I always like that. It was in some eyewitness accounting. That's how he
Yeah.
described it.
You know, unless they, you know, live in caves, you hear so many reports of them, you know, caves around.
Yeah.
You know, they're hiding in caves or whatever, you know. You know, I used to love going into caves, and as I've gotten older, I've gotten claustrophobic. So, you know, I ain't going down in no damn cave anymore. And then
sure.
hearing, you know, maybe there's more than just bats and stuff in a cave, you know, like, you know what, maybe I don't want to go in a cave anymore.
Well, you know, when I was overseas, I was in Afghanistan, and I used the translator to ask the locals in the area, and this
Yeah.
was near like the Hindu Kush kind of area and the Tora Bora kind of stuff. And I asked them, like, what kind of like lore, like what kind of like monsters do you have out here, like legends and stuff about like, and they started talking about these cave dwellers that were like they were humanoids, is what they described them, but completely white. They described basically like the Descent, but these humanoids with no eyes that would cannibalize people, that would grab them in the caves. And I always thought that was really
Really?
interesting. That was like, yeah, that was like their like big scary monster out there in that region. And to me, it's like, you know, that's something where it's like kind of makes sense that there's so many caves throughout that area.
Yeah.
And here in that
wow.
documentary I worked on, we went through an old collapsed mining facility. And because there's a lot of stories out in the Uaris of subterranean Sasquatch, them coming out of holes, going into holes, and things of that nature.
Is that the stuff you're doing with Hellbound Holler?
Yeah, this one coming out here August 10th on Small Town Monsters.
Oh, sweet. So
Yeah.
are you going to be on it, or? are you gonna be
Yeah,
in it?
I'm like actually
Awesome.
like I got to see it one time before they let me see it one time, and I watched it and it was awesome. But I'm in like a good like 50% in the middle chunk there.
Really?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got to go out and investigate. It was like being in a real life Hellbent Holler episode.
Nice.
Got to look around, and there they were. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Did you guys catch anything, or
Yeah.
can you say what you caught, or?
I can't say much, but it was a lot of vocalizations and all that, and that's what really started us there. But it's the detail, and it's like the amount they capture, the way it's depicted, it's really thrilling, and the lengths they go to get it, and it really, I think it kind of answers a few questions there. But yeah, I can't spoil it too much. I'm looking forward to
when's that
whenever it
coming
comes
out? Did you say
August 10th?
Oh, so that's just a few days away. Today's
Yeah, I
the
think
2nd.
7 days or 8 days.
8 days. Well, 7 days. Today's over with.
So it's coming out soon. It's gonna be awesome, guys. I promise.
Awesome. Cool. And,
But yeah, I'm always fascinated by the subterranean stuff. There does seem to be like another world down there. You know?
Yeah, I agree, and you know I haven't really focused too much time on that. Still trying to wrap my head around the ghost aspect of it. But it's definitely an interesting world that is all around us that we know very little about.
Yeah.
Little
Going back
Patty
to, like,
has
conspiracies. Like, remember all the deep underground military bases and the tunnel systems they use. I don't know if you ever like deep dive those types of topics, but
I have not. I've heard about them, and you know what's going on in the mountains, Colorado or wherever that they have bases in there, and are these mountains hollow now, or what's going on in there? And
yeah,
I mean, what a great place to hide a base, an alien base, let alone a U.S. military base or whatever military.
Oh yeah, they say like they feed out information through like Hollywood and TV. One episode of a show I always thought was ridiculous and it was kind of over the top. I loved it, but now it's like kind of making more and more sense. Is the $6 Million Man episode of the Bigfoot? Do you remember what that plot was?
God, that was a long time ago.
Aliens
I remember the show.
It was aliens that were living inside Mount Shasta, built like robot Bigfoots to get equipment that they needed to rebuild their spaceship.
Wow.
Ain't that wild? I rewatched it like here just recently, and I went, "That's what the plot was." I was like, "This is way crazier than I ever remembered it being."
Wow. So that now I can add that to my wow. Watching like Star Wars and Star Trek and stuff, you know, that's sci-fi, science fiction. What if it's actually true? You know?
Well, the Star Trek, I always rewatch the OG series every couple of years. And like I have a lot of the stuff we got. I mean, we can communicate instantly with somebody, even now via space. And it's like a lot of that early tech, we basically got the beginnings of it already. And like so like that's what Star Wars is kind of interesting because they use that whole force philosophy, so the kind of a spiritualism with it.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been more of a Star Trek guy, but I do know my Star Wars. Unfortunately, I had
to mix up.
Regrettably, I know a lot about Star Wars too.
Little Patty has a question for you.
Sure.
And now that I read it, I'm looking in your background there, and I'm like, what in the world is that? What is that red light behind you?
Oh, it's like a $5 Team U accent light I got, a little USB thing. I just threw it in the back there.
I see it.
It looks like a little landmine, and you just throw it on the floor and it lights it up.
It's kind of cool. I should get something for that. I should get something like that back here. I have a bunch of Christmas outdoor lights and stuff that, you know, I was spotlights that I tried shining back here one time, and it just looked like a big pink light and didn't really work out too good.
That lighting's always hard to get right. I know this isn't right, but I just kind of threw it on real quick.
Yeah, and you know, this is just the background, and I had to put that up there to make it look better than whatever picture was there. So, but so, you know, let me ask you, I mean, you're in the Small Town Monsters video that's coming up. Have you had many Bigfoot encounters?
I've never had a Class A sighting, but I've had I basically went down the checklist of different types of experiences that are associated with Sasquatch. I had pebbles again thrown at me one day, and that one was weird because it was right at the beginning of the trail at the trailhead. Like I could see my truck, and I was just as I was stepping off the gravel road onto the trail, and there's even the sign right there for it. I was looking at the sign. I think I was even pulling out my camera to take a picture of it, and a little, like I got flicked right in the shirt, like a little pebble, a tiny little one. Yeah, and I went, that's weird. I'm looking around. It's not even that thick of a forest. It is in the summer times, but this area, they do controlled burns. So you can see fairly good around you. I mean, you can probably see 100 yards, you know, just looking around. But it is that like pine, sparse forest. And I'm standing there, and then another one. And I'm thinking maybe squirrels up there are dropping something off, you know, the top. I'm sitting there, and then no, like one comes in straight sideways and flicks me again. And I don't know what to think of it. I looked around again. I couldn't see nothing, and I had good visual of everything around me. I ended up I just kept hiking. That was like the first thing. Right away, I didn't think of Bigfoot in that situation. I just thought it was weird. And it wasn't until I went down to I went with my brother to do a section called the Figure 8. It's in the south end, and I went down this section called the Dutchman's Creek Trail, and it follows a nice creek down there. And we were there. We set up our tents and had a fire going, just chilling. And about midnight, we were wrapping up, and we were gonna put what's going on? And we're gonna you were wrapping up, and we always put a big log on the fire right before we go to bed, so we got some embers in the morning, you know, to get going real quick. And we cracked this log over this tree. Then, like a couple seconds later, we heard a knock north of us. Then we heard a response knock to the south of us, and then we heard a third knock that was maybe 30 yards away from us. No, you can't get over. No.
He wants.
But anyway, we heard one about literally 30 yards away from us. It was just like a baseball bat cracking on a tree, and we thought, well, this is weird.
Wow.
And so we hit the tree again, and same thing. It was like, and it was an awkward moment. It couldn't have been an echo because it was just like each one was awkwardly timed between the other ones. You heard it from the north, heard it from the south, and then again 30 yards away, but this time in a completely different like direction. And this went on for 30 minutes altogether, but about 5 minutes into just knocking and getting the responses and getting that one close by, and it was kind of coming closer each time. I decided, well, I'm gonna go out there. It's pitch black. I got my headlamp on, but I turned it off. I said, I'm gonna walk out there just in the darkness. You keep knocking, and then wherever I hear this knock coming from, I'm just gonna shoot and point my light real fast. And in my head, I'm like, this is because this time I was like, hey, this is Bigfoot. I've listened to Sasquatch Chronicles. Like, I get what's going on. I'm going out there, and probably about 20 minutes, I'm out there. He'd knock, and this thing would always be within 50. It got to within like 15 yards of me. I could hear it crack on a tree. I turned within a second. I'd have a light on there and nothing, no movement. I never heard anything move between. Nothing. It was so weird.
Really?
Yeah, it was really wild, and that's kind of what opened. That's what got me going. Like, okay, I'm really like interested in this topic. And then that next day, we didn't even think about it, but we were hit with like a really hard, like a stinky smell when we were just getting out of that valley, coming out of the creek. Right before we left the creek area, we got hit with like just a real nasty, sound like a rotten meat smell. I don't know what that was, and it wouldn't have really stuck in my memory except for when we went over this mountain and came back down. There's another creek valley, and as soon as we hit that creek valley, we got hit with the same smell right again, and we thought that was weird. But it was almost like, looking back, it's like, well, maybe it was trying to push us away from these creeks and get us kind of out of there and moving. I don't know.
Do you think the pebbles were just something that it was trying to keep you away from the trail?
No, I don't think so. Because I mean, maybe it was, but I wasn't even considering what it was. I wasn't even processing like, what could this really be? Like, I don't know. I just kind of summed it up and kept walking. Sometimes you do get that vibe. We definitely got that vibe during the mine exploration in that documentary. You'll see it. Again, I can't say too much, but like it was definitely like you get a vibe where it's like, okay, it's time to go once in a while. The one that really got me invested in this was I used to go out there by myself during the weekdays, and I would just try different trails for 3 or 4 days, different sections, and I would just explore everything as much as I could. And I went to this one area and had a nice hiking time. Went up around a mountain. It was all on bridle trails, so it was kind of muddy and kind of hard to walk through. They get those deep trenches. But I ended up camping down at the creek. And then when I was leaving out that morning, it was like 6:30 in the morning. I saw this older couple that was in like a more primitive camp, or a more like off-road primitive campground. They had their car and truck there, and they were just throwing everything in their car and their truck, like throwing it. And they looked panicking in a rush. I didn't think much of it. I walked by and they looked at me real weird. And I was walking down the gravel road, and a few minutes later, the lady comes pulling up next to me. And she goes, "Were you the guy running down the mountain last night next to our camp?" And I went, "No."
Whoa.
I was like, no. I looked up at the mountain she was looking at. It was the same one I had kind of like walked the trail up around the day before. And I went, "There ain't nobody running down." I was like, "Did they have a flashlight on them?" I was trying to get some description. And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Ain't nobody running down this mountain in pitch blackness multiple times at that." She said 2 or 3 times. So I said, I'm gonna go back to that mountain. I'm gonna camp at the very top of it, and I'm gonna see what goes on up there. And when I was able to get back out there, I found a tree structure, and then I found a very fresh, like a 2 or 3 set of prints. The third one was really just kind of ruffled leaves, but I got one really good impression of a footprint. I took a picture of it. And then in that same location, there was multiple trees in a straight line that were all broken off in about 8 feet. And then maybe 50 yards, no, probably about 100 yards from that area was a basic kind of teepee structure. And I camped right up there next to that footprint, but I never heard anything.
So you stumbled across something up there.
Yeah, and that's what really like ignited me. It was like, oh, these people are weirded out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, they were just getting the hell out of there.
Yeah, I mean, they were booking it. And it was like 6:30 in the morning. Like, there's no reason to be rushing like that on in the morning.
Yeah, no kidding.
And but the last thing she said to me, I asked, like, what did it look like? She just said it was dark, and then her husband honked the horn behind her in the truck, and then she just wound up her window and drove off and just left me there. And I was like, this is weird. Like, I gotta check this out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So something spooked them, and I doubt if it was a human.
No, and I mean, once you see what these like hills look like in Uwharrie, it's not so much, they don't have altitude out there. I think the tallest one's about 1,000 foot. Most of them about 600 feet. But it's just the rockiness of them. It's all granite and quartz. They're all ancient volcanoes, just been deteriorated. So it's just like there ain't no running down a hill without breaking your hip and your ribs and your arms. Yeah.
And where is this at?
Uwharrie. It's central North Carolina. It's close. It's kind of in between Charlotte and Raleigh.
All right, I got you. All right, since Julie brought Raleigh up a little while ago, what do you think about Raleigh, North Carolina getting the baseball team?
Oh, I don't follow sports at all. That's why I'm completely lost.
Okay.
I know it's a big deal around here. I do have some friends there. Fayetteville, where I'm from, we just got our baseball team. It's a minor league team. I think the Astros own them. So we just got that a couple of years ago. But that's all I
That's
know
cool.
about baseball in my area.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So I've been wanting to reach out to you. I've seen you in chat a couple times, chatted with you a little bit. I want to get you back on the show and do a whole show with you if you don't mind sometime.
Yeah, we'll definitely get something in the works for sure.
All right.
Thanks for having me on. This has been great.
Hey, no problem. I'm not running you off. I just want to make sure that I wanted to get that out there and have you back on. And what other kind of encounters or anything like that have you come across, or what interest you?
Well, the one that started it all, it was a good old Class A, and it was a Thunderbird, and it was in Pennsylvania when I was a little kid.
Ooh, yeah.
I was fishing. I lived right by a pond. It was a man-made pond, and they kind of leveled out a land down there to make a baseball field. And I think they used to farm too in a different area. So the man-made pond, I used to go down there every morning with my friend and go fishing. And I had like 3 or 4 friends, so it was going to be either all of us, 1 or 2 of us. But I went down there and I'm fishing, and my buddy's with me, and he says he wants to try a different type of bait they left at the house. So he goes running across this field to go towards his house. I'm just sitting there, and it's up on a little embankment, maybe like 4 feet up from the water line. And behind me is is a row of trees, and they're all like young saplings. I'm just sitting there, and I hear something like rush above me. Like I hear something above me. I look up, and I just see this giant silhouette comes out, just flies right over me. And it's maybe like 15 feet above me. It was right above the sapling trees. And it comes down, and like I said, I'm at 4 feet above the water line on this embankment, maybe 5. It's hard to tell because I was like a kid. I was like 12. And this giant bird just flies. It comes down right in front of me. So it's like eye level with me now, like the back flying away from me. And it swoops down over this pond. And I watch it soar up. And it does 3 flaps, just like this. And then it just takes off. And before you know it, it's like gone. It's like airliner. It's like so high up there. You couldn't tell what size it was. I went back out to that same spot when I was about 20. And like, from what I remember, lining it up with the environment, this thing was 25 feet wide. I mean, it was an aircraft that went over me. Like, it was insane. And it was an ugly color too. That's what sticks out to me. It was an ugly bird. It was like this nasty brown color, but it had not pure white tips, but just a white tips on all of its wings, and it had a ring around its neck. Because I got to watch it when it soared up out of the pond area when it started flapping. That's when I actually saw like the color of it. It was insane. And then I didn't know what it was. I'd never heard of anything about giant birds, so I went to a library. Remember those? And I looked in the card index.
Actual cards? Yeah, that's our Google.
And I looked it up, and I started learning about the Thunderbird, and I had known nothing about it. And that's what kicked off my real big. I've always liked Bigfoot because it's been a pop culture thing, but that's where it was like, oh, there's weird stuff out here. Like there is, like it's real.
Yeah, especially up there in the Alleghenies up there.
Yeah.
BJ lives real close to there, and she sees all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there was a recent one where that was like just down the road. There was one within the last 5 years. So yeah, it's an active area.
I mean, she sees things almost on a nightly basis up there, whether it's UFOs or Bigfoots or whatever. She's got it all up there, and she sends me all kinds of pictures, and it's really interesting how much stuff happens in one real area like that. It's I don't know what's attractive.
Growing up, man, do you remember Stan Gordon? He's still around. Old Stan Gordon. I remember him on the local news because there would be so much weird stuff. I actually found some old newspaper clippings from my hometown growing up of UFO sightings that someone had clipped out and kept. And that area up there, it's really strange. Where my town was right where the Chestnut Ridge ends up there. So it's kind of like just north of Altoona area. And then I got Thunderbird sightings in a hot spot for them near the Alleghenies. Sorry, the cat's walking around everywhere. You can't see it, but the cat is everywhere.
I can't remember where my wife and I were, but she was on one of the community web or Facebook pages here, and she said that there was a bunch of odd lights in the little town that we're in just south of St. Louis. And if I had seen anything, I was like, no, I've been with you all day. I haven't seen anything. But that's the last couple nights, weeks or so, I've seen 1 or 2 odd lights in the sky. I'd never seen stuff like that before, and it certainly wasn't an airplane. You see the lights blinking. and stuff. Something going on back there?
The cat looked terrified and looked over my shoulder. That's why I looked so shocked. I was like, the cat looks like it's seen a ghost.
Wow.
I have another cat that's camera shy, and I think it's just a shadow of it on the wall.
Okay.
But I was actually freaked out for a second. I was like, wow.
I know your head whipped around like, what's going on? Something coming at you?
What? Glad y'all were there for that.
Any of our medium friends out there see anything in MK's background, let me know or let us know. And that was weird. So Freaky was asking, what was your cat's name again? The full name? I know it's
Tuna.
Tuna.
Princess Toonces Perunces. I'll spell it.
You get that, Freaky? Princess Toonces. Okay. Toonces Ferunces?
Perunces. Like
Perunces.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That is weird. That is weird. But anyway, I really appreciate you coming on tonight. It's
thanks for having me. It was good to touch base.
Yeah, and coming in tonight, Krista texted me earlier today, saying sorry last minute she couldn't make it. Okay, that's fine, and I'll do it solo. And then as like 6:45 rolled around, like, what am I gonna do? But everybody in chat is wonderful. Casto came on, Josh Casto came on, talked about his new podcast. Julie came on, now you came on, and now I'm about to cough again. You guys saved the day, and it was a really fun show. I really enjoyed it. So
yeah,
again, good. MK, great meeting you. Thank you very much for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I really appreciate you hitting that button. So, and if you don't mind, hang on for just a second, and
sure.
We'll get some information backstage, and we'll get you back on. So everybody, thank you all for tuning in on this lovely Saturday night. The heat has finally broken here in the Midwest, and it was actually just a gorgeous day outside.
This was our first day that stayed below 80 in like a month.
Yeah. I got in the pool today, and all week last week it was like swimming in a bathtub, and today it was actually cold. I had to very carefully get in the water, if you know what I mean.
Oh wow!
So, so very weird. So guys, make sure you tune in to Donny Cho here in less than a minute. Him and Jason are going to be on, and then BMR with the girls later on tonight. So, and I appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you, MK, for coming on. Thank you again, Julie. And thank you, Mr. Casto, for coming on. And best of luck to you as you start your podcast, sir. So anyway, guys, hush about the nice weather. I'm going to say it. It was beautiful the next couple days. It's going to be great. See you all Tuesday. I can't remember what my guest is on Tuesday, but we're going to have a guest Tuesday with Natalie. I can't remember who it is off for the life of me. Anyway. We'll surprise each other who it is. Have a great night, everybody. See you Tuesday.
This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.